Battletech and Mechwarrior are a franchise centered around giant stomping robots doing battle in the advanced setting of the 31st and 32nd centuries for the most part. While there are conventional armies inside the setting comprised of VTOLs, AFVs, and infantry, the main core of the game and the world is built on the powerful walking vehicles known as Battlemechs. Today we're going to explain what those are. A Battlemech is really comprised of several key pieces, like any combat vehicle. It is built on an engine, the armor, and its weapon systems. Other special features and equipment exist for them, of course, but at their core, these are what they are. During the Succession Wars, the primary focus of the eras of our videos on these subjects for now, Battlemechs weigh between 20 and 100 tons, and these weight variances have a dramatic impact on the purpose and capability of these machines on the battlefield. Each and every mech runs on a nuclear fusion engine of varying sizes, with the largest during the Succession Wars being the 400 standard engine, which weighs in at a staggering 52 tons. And these engines provide the mech with prolonged power and the ability to run all of its systems. Disabling or destroying the engine on a mech will result in the immediate failure of the machine, as well as the destruction of the most expensive component which allows it to operate. During the Succession Wars, engines would only be found in the very center torso of the mech, and any damage sustained to it can be life-threatening to the pilot over time, and can cause massive heat spikes as it loses containment. These engines don't often have catastrophic explosions, but it can happen.
Die, Clanner. He's going critical. Ejecting!
Beyond that, the most essential component of the mech is what's often called the meat. The human operator of the Battlemech will reside within the cockpit of said Battlemech. In later eras, there are more sophisticated interfaces for these warriors, such as neural tattoos and other equipment to help give them a greater tactical look to their environment. Without these, pilots of the Succession War era wear an external piece of equipment called a neural helmet to attempt to better integrate them with the systems of the mech and enhance reaction times. Additionally, they typically wear a cooling suit or cooling vests to help them survive the machines running hot. Mech warriors, the meat, typically come from noble families of the inner sphere, and training to pilot a Battlemech is an incredibly difficult and strenuous task. Much is asked of these warriors, so they must be prepared for combat. The outcome of their performance can change the destiny of whole worlds. Armor during the time we're talking about is made of ablative plating comprised of metals, ceramics, and structures to reduce incoming fire. The armor plating typically is blown away on impact from mech-heavy weapon systems, and the more armor a mech has, the longer it can persist on the battlefield typically. Finally, Battlemechs are equipped with extremely powerful weapon systems which can be broken down into several dominant categories: missiles, ballistics, and energy weapons. These weapon systems all generate heat while being fired, and it must be dispersed from the mech before it suffers mild to severe consequences from running too hot. In some extreme instances, the mech will shut down, or even dormant ammunition on board may explode. Energy weapons offer great damage for their weight, and have various roles. During the Succession Wars, they are configured into small, medium, and large lasers, with particle cannons, known as a PPC, being the heaviest of these systems installed in a mech at this time. The biggest drawback for energy weapons is the excessive heat generated by them. Missile systems generate mild to moderate heat and launch either SRMs, i.e. short-range missiles, or LRMs, i.e. long-range missiles. LRMs tend to be more missiles per ton, but those missiles do less damage. The benefit of missiles is both a benefit and a disadvantage. Missiles are designed to scatter across their opponent, hitting multiple locations, but as a result, they don't concentrate fire very well. The true drawback of missiles is that they are an ammunition-based system, and that they can either run out of that ammunition, or the ammunition can be detonated by an attack or heat. Finally, we come to ballistics, comprised of autocannons and machine guns. These weapons will generate minimal heat and fill a similar niche as to lasers, typically that of concentrating fire and concentrating damage. Their biggest drawback is their immense weight, and their biggest advantage is their relatively cool running nature. However, much like missiles, the ammunition itself can be a weakness and can lead to catastrophic outcomes for the mech and its pilot. These are the systems most important to any mech. This broad overview is necessary to understand anyone looking to involve themselves into this era of Battletech, and create the foundations needed to understand further eras of Battletech as well. Thank you for joining me here today. If you enjoyed this content, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. With that, I look forward to seeing you in the comments section below.